You know, if you want it, you'll come and get it. Well, hello and welcome to the Tequila Hour. That was weird. I don't know why. Yep. Probably because I was playing with the volume. Hello. Hi, my name is Amanda. It is Sunday. I don't know what day it is. What day is it? I know it's Sunday. What I mean is, what date is it? The date today is, starting off well, as you can tell, the 6th of July. I'm having a chuckle because my podcast last week, when I started, I was saying how it was July and it actually wasn't July at that time. Anyway, hello. If you haven't listened to my podcast before, you know what? As I swallow deeply, it's a lot about nothing. No, it's not a Seinfeld episode. It really is all-encompassing where I just talk about shit. I shoot the breeze, I cut the grass, I waffle on, I give my synopsis. Yep. It's really just me shooting the breeze, talking about shit I want to talk about. So if that's something that you're interested in listening to, then sit back and relax and join me. So first of all, let's start with the important shit. The important shit today is obviously what I'm drinking. It is a tequila hour after all. No, I'm not drinking tequila. I know. What? Surprise, bitch. No, today I am drinking. Did I drink that last week? I can't. No, I'm not an alcoholic. I'll keep to myself that. Anyway, drinking Gordon's gin. So I grabbed the microphone firmly. That was weird. And I'm also enjoying for the very first time Luxardo Limoncello. No, I'm not Italian. But I was going to, quick side note, I was going to buy some Japanese yuzu sake. Very tempting. Unfortunately, I've tasted the forbidden fruit straight from the source, aka Japan, and the memories are quite wonderful in my mind when I was drinking it. Anyway, yes, it's not the same. It's really nice. I will add it to the description of this podcast today. It's really nice. It tastes like a sour lemon lolly. And so I've got two drinks. Yes, I'll just repeat this. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not. I swear, hand on heart. No. So, yeah, if you're interested in drinking some limoncello, if you've never drunk it before, obviously you need to like citrus in some capacity. If you don't try it. But if you do, then, and if you've always wanted to try a limoncello, and this is the first time I've drunk limoncello in my 52 years, it's actually really, really nice. So highly recommend it. So going back to what I was saying, this is a tequila hour. Grab yourself a drink. You might need a snack because I do talk for quite some time. And let's get into it today. So first of all, you know what we've got to do. We need to do some motherfucking admin.
Local news.
Boom. It's weird because I'm doing things a different way to what I was doing them, as in I was using my Rode Procaster 2. I don't know why I'm even telling you what I'm using because Ray can suck my balls. That, I was using the smash pads and yes, I wasn't feeling or, loving the sound experience once I, completely edited or did no editing, etc. Using, I won't go into it. I won't bore you with the behind the scenes. Let's just say, yeah, I wasn't feeling what I was putting down, so therefore I'm trying something different. I will need to kind of work out something better because it feels weird. But anyway, enough about me and all my shit. I'm just gonna let me have a quick sip of my Lunchalo. ASMR shit. Do you like ASMR? That's a podcast for another day. Do I listen to it a lot? No, not at all. I do listen to weird sounds. That's an open conversation. But yes, when I listen back to my podcast and I go, well, that's interesting, hearing me swallow my drink, then that really is an ASMR moment. And do you want that? So that's the thing. Do you want to hear me swallow my drinks? Don't go there. Anyway, yes, today, what is the discussion of topic today? Let's talk about the title of this podcast. If you want it, come and get it. Now, when I thought about this particular title, I was thinking about something in particular. I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to talk about sex today, but what I will talk about is I want to talk about ego versus confidence. And I also want to then side note and start with lip stains. This podcast, it really is, hold on to your fucking hat. That's what I would say. No, yes, it is all over the place. No, I'm not drunk today. The limoncello seems to be making me straight. I don't know what's happening. I'm scared. Maybe I'm not, because now I'm hitting my desk. I'm just going to have a sip of my gin. Give me a second. Give me a second. ASMR moment times 2. Yes. What was I saying? Yes, my mind, if you've listened to this podcast, it will go into the multiverse and back and beyond the black hole. So, yes, you might be saying to yourself, what, Amanda, you're talking about lip stains and you're also going to talk about ego and confidence. Yes, that's right, I am. So, yeah, there's a little bit of lightheartedness to start with, and then, bam, you'll be like, fuck, why are you going there? And going back to what I was saying, the title of this podcast today is it does tie into ego and confidence, and it ties into me for confidence. So it's where I'm saying, you know, and if you're a listener and you're playing along in the merry life of Amanda, then you would realise that, yes, I often ponder my life's being, integrity, entirety, all of it, explore, try and understand, examine, cut open, deep dive. You know, I'm picturing, Indiana Jones shit in my mind. Anyway, Harrison Ford, is he hot? I don't know. Not really. Anyway, yes, I was thinking about this because I really now am at a point where I'm just like, this is it. You know what I mean? I'm stepping into a more confident space after making some important decisions, and which, yes, I'm now very comfortable with, which is great. And, not that I had a moment, but actually, I won't lie, I did have a moment. I had multiple. And it was really not even having a moment. It was time that I needed to digest, interesting word, a certain headspace around a certain decision that I made, and I pretty much outlaid it in my last podcast, which was Hedge Your Bets. And after I did that podcast and I listened back to it, because I do, just so you know, in the background, if you're interested in, if you want to create your own podcast, and look, I'm not, clearly I'm not, I don't have trillions of followers and trillions of downloads, and I will talk about that in a second if I remember, that yes, I did take the time. Sorry, what was I getting at? I lost my train of thought. So in regards to editing, so with this podcast, I will, depending on how drunk I am often, or if I feel like I'm saying too many times for example, or I have too many gaps in time during my conversation, and, you know, like as in, you know, I'm thinking about something and I do this where I'll have a thought and then I will trail off in my mind, but because this is a podcast and it's an open communication and I'm using my voice, then I need to keep speaking. Therefore, I am mindful, conscious, aware of having huge gaps of airspace. So that is one thing that I will edit. I also do use, as in my recording platform, Audacity, if you were interested again in doing your own podcast, which I love. And I do some slight manipulation in regards to the recording itself. So what I mean by that is compression, noise cancelling, etc. So it could be, it's really just to try and make the whole experience sound crisper, more auditory comfortable. I don't know how else to describe it. It's a macro that's built in Audacity, and that's the type of editing I do. There is other times where I will take out certain, like I said, spaces of time where I'm not speaking. I used to take out times where I was having a drink. At the moment, I'm not. So you will actually hear me physically having a drink and I'm not taking that out. And the other thing being where I did, you know, like if I kept saying all the time, I would take that out because, you know, there was some podcasts which without that editing, I would have said that word, which is not really a word in my opinion, too many times, and you'd be like, you say that a lot, Amanda. I'm like, yeah, I know. So it is something that I do. So there's that. What am I getting at? So last week I did the podcast Hedge Your Bets, and it was really about a decision that I've recently made, completed, and examined, explored, deep dived, all the above. And like I was getting to, I listened to it back when I was editing it. Yes, I heard it. But then I think how many days later I actually listened to it on Spotify, and which is, I like to do that just to see what it sounds like. And after that, I really did notice a distinct shift in my mind in regards to how I was feeling, because I was, for a period of time, probably like, I don't know, 2 weeks, maybe more, maybe less. No, I don't know the exact time, hour, day, or the seconds. Do you need to know that? No. And yes, I was very at a comfortable place after doing and hearing that podcast back. And it really then came to the next place where I'm really at a good place. I have a lot of things going on in my life, as in my work life and my personal life, not a lot, but there's things that I'm doing or working on or whatever. And I feel very comfortable about that. And I'm really now through the lens of looking at my life in confidence, which is a really great feeling to have. If you are someone who lacks self-confidence or self-worth or all of it, then, and that's a deep discussion, then yes, if you've come to a decision and you've come to a place where then you feel some homeostasis, is that the word? Could be. Then, yeah, it's a really comfortable feeling. And then it's then when you then go, yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling myself, and where is this going? And that's where that title came from. There was something else that it came from as well, which I briefly surmised at the very start of this podcast. I'm not going to go into that today because it's not a discussion that I'm not going to discuss on my podcast at this present time. I will say to you, though, that, yeah, I just was thinking about confidence versus ego because, you know, to me they are very different. They clearly are. If you understand what ego and confidence is, I would say to you, though, that it's funny where, I don't know, we try and, I don't know, what am I trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's like we sell confidence or being confident is sold to us as a feeling that, you know, you should have. Do you know what I mean? It's a, you know, you feel better if you're confident. You need to be confident. Like, you know, you're confident at work and you're a leader and you're self-assured and you know your shit and you're on your shit. Or, you know, in your life, you're confident, you stand tall, you have presence, you act a certain way, you walk a certain way, you project a certain way. And these are ideals that I don't think I'm wrong, but, you know, these are ideals that are, you know, not forced on us, but kind of like, this is what you should do. This is what you should be. You should be confident and this is how you should, you know. And, yeah, I'm all for it. You know, do you want to be timid and shy and walked over and not achieve anything you want to achieve? And this is, again, that's a very quick synopsis of the whole thing. But it's when I'm saying, swallowing deeply, let me have a quick sip of my limoncello. It's really nice, by the way. There's an that, yeah, I made a decision, already broke it down for you. Didn't tell you what it was, but I broke it down. That, yeah, it's now where you're in that place, but then you're like, well, okay, I'm on my shit. How much being on your shit is too much? It's probably this is where I'm getting to. How much is like being confident and being self-assured and being, I don't know, not aggressive. I don't want to say aggressive, but it could come across aggressiveness at times, depending on the situation, really, and the people and the moment. Where is it where it's just self-confidence and being self-assured and being, you know, you're aligned to you're in your truth, you're in your shit, you're feeling it, you're down, to where the other, I know, and then a part of the end of the spectrum where you're like, you're bossy, you're annoying, you're an asshole, you're a wanker. Do you know what I mean? These, you know, that's to me where we're talking about self-confidence and ego. So that was part of the reason why I came up with that title. Like I said, there was another reason, but I'm not going to talk about it. I keep going back to it. I do really want to talk about it, but I don't. I do, but girl needs to keep secrets to herself, air mystery and all that. So this is the thing. Where is it where, you're confident and you project confidence and you speak confidently and, you're, like I said, I keep repeating myself, but there's that sense of self-insurance and insurance, not in, where, you're on your shit, you speak clearly, decisively, you come up with ideas, not boss people around, but, you don't let people boss you around, all that kind of stuff. To then, like I said, the spectrum of then being bossy, being an arsehole, being a wanker. That's the thing. So I wanted to talk about that today because not that I'm an arsehole, a wanker. That's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is what's the difference between confidence and ego, and what is the key difference, and how do you recognize it? Because like I said, there is stepping into, if you are someone who's on your own personal life journey to explore themselves as a person and how you fit in and how you interact and how your self-development and self-awareness and all that kind of good stuff, not even tying in some of those key important things that I've talked about in regards to spirituality, then I would say to you that this is something that you will come across, confidence versus ego. So I'm going to briefly discuss something that kind of lays it out, and then I'm going to move on to the next subject of the day. Because like I said, there is something else I want to talk about. I'm really trying my best not to talk about it. Anyway, confidence versus ego, key differences and how to recognize them. Understanding the distinction between confidence and ego is essential for personal and professional growth. True that. While both may seem similar on the surface, like I'm saying, they stem from very different mindsets and lead to distinct outcomes in how individuals approach challenges, relationships, and success. So let's start with the foundation of self-belief. This is a good one, good place to start. Confidence is built on a foundation of competence and self-awareness. The end. No joke. Confident individuals trust their abilities because they've worked hard to develop them. They are secure in their strengths and are willing to acknowledge their weaknesses. That's an important point in that. Ego, on the other hand, is rooted in an inflated sense of self-worth. Individuals driven by ego often mask insecurities with arrogance, seeking validation from others rather than fostering internal self-insurance. If you have any sense of intelligence, I keep saying about it. Look, I don't want to say you're stripping, but and people, I don't know what I'm saying. I've just read that. And honestly, they're the same. They're very similar, aren't they? But, confidence being where your willingness to acknowledge their weakness or your weakness is a key point, where ego is kind of like, well, you're not doing that. That's my interpretation of that. So if I was to then talk about response to feedback, confident people welcome feedback and constructive criticism. They see it as an opportunity for growth and improvement, understanding that they are always learning. Whereas ego, those with a large ego tend to dismiss or react negatively to feedback, viewing it as a threat to their perceived superiority. They often resist criticism and may become defensive or aggressive when challenged. Now, we're already at point 2, and I'm concerned personally that my ego is bigger than it should be. Anyway, let's move on. Let's not go there. And then how they interact with others. Okay, so confident individuals uplift others. That's nice. They encourage collaboration. This is an important point here. They encourage collaboration, listen actively, and share credit for successes. Their self-insurance, I should say, with an A, not an N, IN, allows them to be comfortable in team settings, acknowledging the contributions of others without feeling threatened. Where ego-driven individuals tend to dominate conversations, seek the spotlight, and often take credit for team successes. Their need for recognition can lead to competitive or destructive behaviours undermining collaboration. Now, again, very different, but this is the thing. There's so much. How can you separate confidence and ego? They're intertwined, clearly. But then where is the sweet spot in reference to being a confident person or an ego-driven or centric person? Food for thought. Think about it. Yeah, do it. Approaches to challenges. Confident individuals take on challenges with a positive attitude. They understand that failure is part of the journey and are willing to take calculated risks, trusting their ability to adapt and learn from setbacks. Where ego-led people or ego leads people to avoid situations where they might fail or be exposed. Okay, this is very different then. They prefer to stay in their comfort zone and take on only risks they are certain they can excel at. I'll say that again. They prefer to stay in their comfort zone or take on only risks or tasks that are certain that they can excel at to maintain their image. Okay, so that's very different. So confident people understand that, they could fail. Pretty much. I'm saying the same thing but kind of twisting it a bit. And, they'll own that and, we'll have another crack. Where ego-driven people are like, mate, I'm only going to place myself in places where I'm the star and you are not, and fuck you all. That, to me, that's very clearly different. When I'm talking about openness to learning, confidence is coupled with humility. That's a good point. Confident individuals are open to learning from others, regardless of rank or experience. That's a good one. They see education as a lifelong journey and are comfortable admitting when they don't know something. So look, there's levels to that. We all don't feel comfortable not knowing. I don't care who you are. But then you're comfortable enough to go, okay, maybe I don't know this and to seek your understanding, and you know this, so I'm cool with that. Ego-led individuals to believe they already know everything, do they? Or at least everything that matters. They may reject new ideas or perspectives, seeing them as unnecessary or beneath them. So that's a very clear distinction when we're talking about learning. So confident people are more engaged to go, well, okay, I don't know, about trains. That's the first thing that came to mind. And yet, I know Sarah knows about trains, so I'm interested to know what Sarah can teach me with an open mind. And, if she can help me understand it better, cool. And I'm cool. Where if, I'm like, I don't need to know trains, I know all about it, and Sarah can get stuffed, then there's that. Let's talk about impact on relationships when we talk about ego and confidence, or the verses. Confident people build stronger, healthier relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. They secure enough to support others' growth and success. That's nice. Ego-driven people may strain relationships as their need for validation and control can lead to manipulation, jealousy, or resentment among peers. What's that? Sorry. I've got my window open in the studio. The studio sounds fancy, and someone was running past my house. Anyway, outcome in leadership. This is interesting. This is where we're getting at. Confidence in leadership. In leadership roles, confidence inspires trust. Yep, it's a big one. Confident leaders foster environments where innovation and collaboration thrive. They are decisive but also inclusive. That's good. Seeking input and valuing the team's insights. Though ego, the other side, the dark side. Leaders driven by ego-based stifle creativity and discourage input from others. Complete opposite. They may make decisions to protect their image or assert dominance, often leading to a toxic work culture where fear prevails over trust. So in conclusion, what is that? Now there's another person walking past me. What's going on? In conclusion, while both confidence and ego stem from a sense of self, there you go, self, like I said, very intertwined. Confidence is grounded in self-awareness, humility, and a genuine belief in one's ability. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Confidence and ego stem from a sense of self. Confidence is grounded in self-awareness, humility, and genuine belief in one's ability, whilst ego is driven by insecurity and a desire for external validation. By recognizing the differences and fostering confidence rather than ego, individuals can lead more effectively, build stronger relationships and achieve lasting success. Amen. So I will link this. This is an article that is on LinkedIn. I don't know. What do you think? You can clearly see from that brief, article how intertwined they both are. And it really is where my take on it is where, with confident people, they are willing to, I don't know, perhaps be more vulnerable is probably the way I would say to it, and then have an openness to learn and understand and grow from that, which is self-awareness. Where someone who is ego-driven, yes, they might have that, but because they're insecure or very insecure in their own self or sense of self, then they will do multiple, act a certain way or do certain things to basically control a narrative. And it's very interesting because they are so intertwined. And I'm leading into, this is a conversation that does stem out of, last week's podcast and things that have happened throughout the last probably, maybe 3 years or 4 years of my life in a particular setting that, it's where you then explore where you fit in to all of this and, is your way of thinking or the way you operate or the way that you interact with others, is it driven by your ego or is it driven by confidence? And, I think it's an interesting thing to think about because I think it's something where if you want to think about in terms of a mirror, well, we all know what a mirror is, then I don't think I have or see or have had many conversations with people that will act like a mirror or be a mirror when you ask a question, and they will sincerely, from a place of truth is probably what I'm trying to spit out. Really then say, look, yeah, no, you're doing this because of this, or no, you really are a fucking wanker. Do you know what I mean? I think it would be, if you are someone who is exploring these ideals in yourself, then finding people who could be that mirror and you could trust them would be so important, and would be a great benefit if you were then, exploring your own self-confidence and growing that, and then aligning that to more being confident than to being a wanker. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know. I think that's where I wanted to talk about that today, because I think it's a really interesting, complicated, it is, process in one's human psyche. And, yeah, something that clearly I'm talking about it today, so I'm exploring it myself. But, yeah, perhaps, yeah, I might come back to this one because I've got some things I'm thinking about. And, yeah, I'm interested to, sorry, I thought my computer was dying, was it? Oh, fuck. Anyway, we'll come back to it. But let's get into now something completely different. Let's completely slip away from being a wanker to, I don't know, why is it like you're straight, like if you're ego driven, you're a wanker, like a real estate agent who clearly wankers. Anyway, that's my issue. Let's talk about the other discussion of today, Huda Beauty. My computer keeps doing that. It looks like it's died, but it hasn't. Anyway, Huda Beauty. Okay, what am I talking about? I'm going to talk about today, I'm talking about, and look, again, if you listen to this podcast, you know how much I watch YouTube. You know I love makeup and beauty. Is makeup, as in, is lipstick gone? Dun, 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 dun. Is wearing lipstick, okay, I'll get to it, all right? I'm talking about Huda Beauty's latest creations, which is the lip contour stain. I'm talking about lip stains, all right? I have never purchased a lip stain ever in my entire being until today. I also ordered some, which will come next week. So I'll give you a greater understanding, my thoughts and feelings around it. But I'm calling it, is lipstick dead? I mean, everyone's bloody wearing oil and wearing lip gloss. And then obviously that, feeds into the evolution, which is the lip stain. And this is the thing, last night, because I wanted to talk about this particular lip stain or this product that's come out recently, like I just mentioned, I've never bought a lip stain in my life. And some people clearly, after watching some YouTube videos last night, they lose their shit. They're nutsack over this shit. I don't know why. I kind of know, but I just need to talk about it because, like, for me, straight away, I'm like, it's just the normal lipstick bullet dead. It won't be because the makeup industry is so vast and so huge that I can't, and I hope, now I'm saying this out loud, maybe I shouldn't, that, a matte lipstick is dying. There's trends. We won't go into that today. There's always trends for everything, 1 minute there's minimal makeup and the next minute it's 90s full glam. Like it's 1 month and then the next month it's something else. Usually it's, when we talk about trends, if you're someone who kind of follows along or plays along, then I would probably say to you it could be more like half yearly trends, and then they kind of slowly, verge into something else. But this lip stain shenanigans, where's this come from? And this is a thing where last night I watched a couple of YouTubers talk about this particular product and they're like, oh, we've used lip stain for years. I've never used a motherfucking lip stain. I don't know why I haven't. I just always envisioned, which is still a thing where, again, this also leads into TikTok, which I don't have, where a lot of people were purchasing these lip stain products. I don't know the actual brand because, like I said, I don't have TikTok, where instead of using a lip pencil to outline their lips, they were using a lip stain. And then, using a gloss, and it all ties into minimal makeup and all that bullshit. And then, you've got the colour on your lips and you don't have to reapply and all that because it's so hard to put on a lipstick bullet apparently or have it on your face, God forbid. But, it was quite – when I was watching these I think I watched 3 or 4 – no, it wasn't that many, 2 or 3 separate videos about this particular product last night. These YouTubers were like, oh, I've used lip stains forever. I'm like, who are you? I haven't. Look, I have a pretty vast lipstick collection made of different types. Like I said, I've only just purchased my first lip stain today. And I've been buying makeup for a fucking long time. I'm not saying I'm like adverse to it, but I really don't see at this present time, without really exploring this particular product, the hoo-ha. I really don't. And like I said, I don't follow trends. I don't, go, oh, I'm going to do minimal makeup because that's the trend. I wear what I want to wear. Trust and believe that. So, and lipstick is probably, I think I've said that, but it's probably my most favourite makeup item in all time. But then I've never bought a lip stain because I just don't see the attraction of it. Like, why? First of all, why would you want to stain your lips one certain colour? There's that. That's probably what it is. Why would you want to hinder your lipstick experience by having one shade? And yes, thinking about it out loud, yes, you could just have the shade and then just go over it. So it's that. But that's the thing. Why would you want to stain your lips one particular colour? And why would you want to be that boring? That's probably what it is boring. Why would you want to do that? And that's the other thing too, like I can understand then where people like, oh, you have a lip stain, you just put a gloss on it and then, you don't have to worry about it coming off because you always have colour, all right? Because most, I don't know, pretty much a high percentage lipstick products in bullets and glosses, they come off. Like there's no magical fucking fanciful thing where you're putting on an Hermes lipstick and it's lasts all day. I mean, there's some products out there that are phenomenal. Chanel is one of them. The lip gloss, I don't know what it's called, but where it's the colour and the gloss on the other end, it's a phenomenal product. There is other products as well that are out there that do the same thing, but this is the thing. I'm like, let's all get a grip, people. Are we that easily influenced that this is the shit? This is the thing. I don't know. And now I've said it out loud. This better not just take over the world. It's not. I'm not going to let it. It's not happening. I'm telling you right now. Lipstick bullets all the way. If you're not, you are gay. Anyway, the product I'm talking about today is the Lip Contour Stain by Huda Beauty. Now, I'm not going to go into Huda Beauty. I don't have many of her products. I will talk about her another day, but there is, how many? It's 8 shades. Product info. What is it? Let's talk about it. An easy-to-use, long-lasting lip stain and lip liner. So this is what it's about. Lip liner hybrid that's smudge-proof, kiss-proof, and transfer-proof for 12 hours. Big call, bitch. What does it do? This no bleed, again, these are big calls. This no bleed lip stain is highly pigmented and ultra comfortable for all day wear, revealing a natural matte finish that won't budge. I'll be the judge of that. Our innovative dual-sided felt tip lip liner, say that fast 5 times, allows for effortless application to line and define with precision and glides on easily. What else do you need to know? You need to know it's dual-sided felt lip liner, apparently, tip liner. Easy to overline, because that's a thing for some bitches. You'd have no lips, fools. Ultra pigment. It is what it is. Ultra pigmented, infused with moisturising argan oil. Is it? Available in 8 lip stain colours. Pair with one of our, this is the thing. Now you don't buy one, you buy 2 products. Now I'm onto it. I've just worked it out. Fucking bitch. Don't buy a lipstick, buy 2. Pair with one of our faux filler jelly lip oils to recreate Huda's jelly stained lip makeup look. And now, like I just mentioned, I did purchase off Sephora 2 shades or 3, 2, 2. I'll backtrack. I bought 2 online and one of the oils, and I bought one of them today to try it because I wanted to talk about it. The colours on Sephora, so I'm in Australia, talking about Sephora, Australia, by the way. The colours are the same. What I'm saying to you, though, is, and I've got, why did I choose that? Let me go to the actual product. That's a lip pencil. I think I've got one of her pencils as well. The lip, not lip liner, lip stain. Here we go. I chose the wrong one. There are 8 shades. The shades I have purchased thus far, like I said, I'm not getting carried away because I'm really, I know I'm a bullet girl, all right? Matte, what do you call it? Oh, I don't know. There's so many different varieties. I can't keep up, but yes, I'm new to this exciting world. Rich brown is one shade. Oh, no. Yes. Wait a minute. I don't even know. Let me see. Let me see now which ones I do. I've got my phone here because I'm having a moment. Which ones did I actually order? Because I don't want to talk out my ass, even though I do have a tendency to do that. Okay, I purchased. Yeah, I did purchase. I purchased 2. Cinnamon is one shade, which is, I don't know how we did describe it. It's kind of like a reddish brown, more like a deep red-ish brown. I also bought rich brown, which is like a dark brown, kind of obvious, and the faux filler jelly oil in Juicy Pink Lady. So after watching the videos last night, the three oils that have just recently been released, the feedback on them was like, there's 3 colours, they're just oils. Don't get carried away. Just buy one. It doesn't really matter. Clearly the lip stains are different colours. I did purchase another one today, which was in the shade Baby Pink. So as an experiment, I did put it on my arm to see, and this is the thing, and this is feedback that was on the videos I watched last night where, you know, the baby pink shade, which is, don't be a moron, it's really like very light pink and probably not a colour that I would normally gravitate to, but I do sometimes want to wear, I like a bright pink, like neuro, what's that? Neon pink, normally, like really bright pink. Baby pink is being, you know, soft. It's kind of obvious. I put some on my arm, as in I put a strap on my arm. It's still there. I've pretty much, after how many seconds I try to wipe it off, it's on there. It's not moving. So it's on there. I'll have a shower tonight. I've tried to rub it off. I haven't rubbed it off with alcohol or anything like that or makeup remover, but yeah, it's not budging. But it's very light, I'll tell you that. So I'm very interested to see in regards to the other shades that I purchased, because the cinnamon shade and the dark brown, they're quite pigmented. And I think, again, some of the feedback that I saw on the videos that I watched or have watched thus far, where they're saying, you know, the pinker shades, or even like, so the shades I'm talking about, the baby pink, the rosewood, soft nude, they're really like soft. They're limp. They don't give much pigment. Where I have seen people then use some of the other colours being cherry red, which is like this bright red, standard, nothing fancy. Cinnamon, which has got a bit more depth and darker, and the rich brown. And this is the thing I like. And then this again goes into trends where, you know, you might, if you have a lip pencil, you might have a darker colour, and then, you know, being black or brown, and then your as in lip liner, and then, you know, you might fill in your lips with a red or a brown or a lighter shade. I really like that look. So I did put on the baby pink, some feedback which is warranted, where it does talk about, because it's the type of product it is, it needs to be stored upside down clearly. It's a felt tip, very easy to use. I did not use it as a lip liner today. When I get the other colours, I will try it like that. I basically filled in my lips. It was very light, but I'm curious to see what it's like tomorrow. I have naturally dark, not pink lips, but probably pinky, darker red. I don't know what shade lips I have, but they're not pale. Let's just say that. So I'll be keen to see how long the stain actually lasts on my lips and what it looks like tomorrow morning after having a shower and, you know, washing your face and all that kind of good shit. But I can tell you right now, the swatch I have on my arm, it's not moving, but it's very faint. So I'm very curious to see what the other stains are like. And then on the top of that, I just put a Fenty oil, because I don't have I do have one of her glosses, but it's coloured, so I wanted to kind of have a clear or something with something shimmer or whatever. So I put a Fenty Gloss Bomb Oil luminising lip oil and gloss on the top in the shade Miss Jelly, which is very comfortable, by the way. So I've never tried the oil that Huda has just, or Huda, however you want to pronounce it, has just brought out. I'll see if that talks about that on the Sephora website as well, which it would. Faux Filler Jelly Oil, which is a new product that she's recently brought out. Free. It's free. No, it's not. 3 shades. Juicy Goji. Yes, thank you. Juicy Goji, which is like a pink. Juicy Peach, which is a peach. All both very light. And then Pink Lady, which is a really pale, it's got like a whisper of pink. That's the one I got. So I think that is the one I got. Let me see. Because, like I said, the feedback that I, extrapolated, fancy, from the videos. Now I can't get into my phone. Thank you. From watching last night was that you could buy any shade, it doesn't matter, because they're all clear, even though they look coloured. Yes, I did buy the Juicy Pink Lady because I thought, well, that's the most clearest one, and I'm very interested to see. So, yeah, that's what I got. So, will the stain still be a stain tomorrow? And that's the other thing too, where they were saying, especially with the darker shades, you put them on and then, literally how many seconds later, eating, drinking, yes, the oil will come off, because that's the thing. Most of the people who use the stains, then they put a gloss over it, which I'm not really I do. Look, I understand. I'm not oblivious. I understand the attraction of wearing gloss or an oil. The thing is, they just don't last. They're worse, in my opinion, than lipsticks, like matte lipsticks or, velvet mattes and all those kind of different, or just a standard satin and all that. They just don't fucking last. So they're worse than bloody those products. So I don't know why everyone loses their nutsack over them, to be honest. So, yes, that's what I have purchased. So I will fill you in next week to tell you how did we go in regards to, the swatch on my arm. How long did it stay? So today being Sunday, I will tell you if it was 1 day or 5. I hope it's not, but if it is, who cares? It's just a bloody stain. So there's that. And then when you look at her site as well, it pretty much says the same kind of shit as well on her site in regards to the shade. So baby pink's the one I've got today, soft pink. Cinnamon is classified as a brick brown. It looks more reddy. Well, brick is kind of red, isn't it? Red brown. And then warm brown is, I've got the rich brown, which is rich taupe brown. Key claims, here we go. 97% agreed that the lip liner contour stain was easy to use. Was it? Oh, with a this is hilarious. This is an independent panel of 30 people. Really? Come on, this is what you're using for analysis. 97% agreed the lip contour stain didn't bleed outside their lip line. So I cannot be a full judge of that thus far because I use baby pink. So it doesn't really matter if it didn't bleed, but it's hard to see. When I get the brown and the red, the cinnamon, then we'll be testing that theory. 90% agreed that the lip contour stain had a precision application. So it was easy to use, the application was easy, and it didn't bleed outside the lips. So this is the thing. A lot of people who use lip stains, they use it like a lip pencil, like as in to line their lips. And most of the images that are on her website, as in Huda Beauty, they are very, it's lining the lips and then one of the oils on top of it. It's not like, and this is the thing, you can use it all over as a colour. This is where they say lip contouring, which is just using a pencil. Lip cuffing, never heard of that word, which is basically you're using a lip pencil and smudging it out slightly, please. And then full lip, you're putting it over your full lip like an actual bullet. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. The tip is very precise, very easy to use. It's, I didn't get it all over the place, but like I said, the colour I was using today is very, very light. And a lot of the reviews that I've seen online about this, it was very, very light. The other important thing, like I said, is making sure that you have the product so that the felt pence, the tip, which is felt, is down, don't hold the component the other way around because it will dry out and it won't work. Full stop. The product inside needs to sink into the felt tip itself to then deliver the product onto your lips. So there's that. So this is the thing. And the other thing is cost. It's not as in like a lip product. This is the thing. You're not just buying it as a lip pencil. You're buying it as a stain to then put another product on top of it as well, being either a gloss or an oil. And this is the thing. You're paying in Australia, so the conversion is $43 for one of these. It's not cheap product where you could just buy a lipstick bullet for one, at the cost of one. Do you know what I mean? So this is the thing. I don't and haven't thus far really understood the whole goo goo gaga. So that's all I can say. The actual enthusiasm, excitement around these type of products, as in the cost, as in what you actually get for that cost, and then the fact that you really then need to buy another product on top of it to then give the, I don't know, final outcome that you're actually trying to achieve when you could just buy one. So this is the thing. And again, what is it really just the final product? If you're just lining your lips and you're using an oil, then you're going to be constantly, you're going to have some colour there, but then you're going to be constantly reapplying just as you would a bullet lipstick anyway. So this is I don't get it. I don't get the, I kind of do, but I really don't get the whole, this is the shit. My life has changed. My life is now complete that I have a lip stain. It's just, I don't get it. And the other thing too, I saw another video where I think it's CoverGirl recently, prior to this recent drop from Huda Beauty, which is maybe a week or so ago, has the same product. Looks nearly the same. I don't think the colours are exactly the same, but they're very close. It looks like one video I saw, if I had them both in, right and left hand and covered the names, you probably wouldn't know the difference, which one was which. That's how similar they were. So I didn't go down the rabbit hole of which one versus better. I'm not going down that rabbit hole because I really, unless these other two stains blow my mind, like as in, I'm talking blow me shit, then it's not gonna be a product that I'm just like, I'm going for stains now on. That's all I'm doing. I can't imagine myself in going down that route, but who knows? Life is a curious thing, and so is makeup. Always coming out with weird and wonderful things to entice us to basically spend our money when we probably should just be saving it and spending it on more important things. And that's where I'm going to leave this podcast today. Thank you for listening. As always, if you are interested to listen to any of my podcast episodes, you can via Spotify, which is my favorite platform to stream on. Obviously, I stream from, Buzzsprout. I'm not saying they're not good as well, but now I don't know what I'm saying. I use Buzzsprout as a platform that I upload and then deliver my podcast episodes to other platforms such as Spotify and Apple. So you can listen and download from either options if you so choose. If you want to comment or reach out to me, you can also do that via both platforms, or you can contact me directly via my email address, which is info@thetequilahour.com.au. I have YouTube and Instagram pages as well that combine to make one glorious social media area. I can't think of a better word. I'm thinking of a dome, but that's right. I'm not what I get with. Anyway, thank you. Thank you. And, I'll catch you sometime next week, maybe the same time. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. See ya. Bye.